Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. This is Shirley with Spirit of Matter, and this is a fun episode. This is basically Jupiter night with Sol. Our ascendant is Gemini, conjuncting Jupiter, which sextile Chiron, and we have this Mars being ruling the Sun and is trining Neptune and applying to oppose Pluto. So we're going to call on Procyon just in check, a little bit of Archangel Michael and Aldebaran, just when needed be. And this is a really, really, really funny episode. I hope to get all the things, uh, all the good, juicy stuff. And this is basically an episode about hopefully top 10 weirdest telepathic communications I've had with Mkultra spies. So ever since I started to do channeling experience and channeling science, and you don't always know for who you channel or what you channel. So you receive all kinds of stuff and you think, well, is it something? Is it nothing? Is it this? Is it that? And then you see some stuff in the real world and you're like, oh, damn, that was actually true. That was actually correct information. So I'm going to give you my top 10 list of weird communications I had with Mkultra spies. One is I go to the airport. Number 10, okay? Very recent, I go to the airport. I have a treat there. And I always think to myself, it's kind of like it's the ninth house, it's activating. And then I notice that I feel good energy inside the airport, good energy outside the airport. As I transition, the energy is so bad that you literally had like psychic sexual attacks and like choking, like really weird stuff. And then I hear a telepathic voice of Mkultra spy, and I know this person, okay? And they say, well, the transitions, it says this in Hebrew, amavarim. It's like, and he says to me, I hate this. And I kind of recognize the tone and the voice. And that's a person who has like 22 Saturn in Aquarius. And they were like really, during 7th October, they were like really raving as if they kind of like so happy about what's going to happen and so happy about like the fact that people are not going to go anywhere and so on. And then I was like, but darling, you build these transitions. And what he meant by these transitions is basically that the security checks in the airport, getting in and out of a country, is becoming like way more malefic, okay? And I'm like, you are one of the people who helped to design for this structure. Okay, so the 7th October was like, oh, look, what you made me do, and so on, and when I was in the airport, it was like, look, you cannot go here, you cannot go there, you cannot go there. And I was like, okay, fine. Okay, But then I was at the airport, great energy inside, but great energy outside, the transitions. So basically, this is one thing that happens to Mkultra spies. They have like a bifurcation. So they would have this benefic, part of the persona. And then like moods where they're completely malefic and want to destroy everything. But they are actually acting on it. Okay. So it's kind of like you've built this building, you've built this structure where it's going to be very limiting for people to cross, from one place to another. And then you're like, I hate these transitions. I hate that. And I'm like, you built that structure. So this is number 10. Let's do a number 9. Okay. Number 9 is going to be, Well, number 9 is 7th of October. It is another Mkultra spy. And this person is worked on the psychological aspects of like operations. Again, I know this person. So it's 7th October and they try to torture me. Okay? And they try to blame me. And to blame me for this, to blame me for that, and they try to put it like a division of what was done to Palestinians and this and that. And I'm like, but you guys do that to women, okay? What about the rape in Shomrat, which is the group rape in Shomrat? What about it like this? What about it like that? You guys do that. And that was another like weird experience, but this is a part of the again a part of the bifurcation. Okay, they would have a bifurcation that are like extremely benevolent and would give you like healing experiences and this and that, and then they have the one that's extremely destructive and always want to break someone down, to tear someone down, to this, to that, to that. And it's like, that's completely stupid. Like, you are the guys that are doing these things, and then you try to make it like it's weird to blame that you are doing these things. So now, of course, you have to remember that all of these spies, they are born into torture. So, and there was no one to save them. So that's kind of like, yeah, that's a weird experience, but you kind of get like how the person gets like that. Number 8. Number 8, MK Ultra Spy. Well, I'm going to say it. I'm going in IKEA. Again, this person I know, but I didn't meet him in physical. Okay? It wasn't like one of the people in academia or one of the people in terrorism, like none of that. So I go and I am in IKEA. And this person suddenly comes out with the energy, and there's something very restrictive. So they look at IKEA and they just look at how you could make the working space more like, I don't know, like those weird dystopic things. But for them, it's like to eliminate distraction, because for their routine is basically very, very clean, and they need to eliminate distractions. They see the place and they kind of think like how they improve the place, and they think about eliminating things and have no distraction. People can only work. And I'm like, I come here to have a vacay, because it's like, it's not the airport, and it's kind of like it's a Swedish shop, and I'm just enjoying the leverage. And I noticed for the energy around his head, okay, it's kind of like restricting. And then I noticed that when I kind of show him like, hey, I came actually to enjoy the place, and I'm accommodating for his energy, he kind of like observes me, and just watches me. He's watching me, and I'm eating there, and I was like, he's just watching me. And then when I'm traveling in the bus, I try to see like, what is, do you want to interact with me? Like, no, he's just watching the sky. It's like this very Piscean quality to them, and they was like just watching the sky. And it was like completely observant. They just observed. But they kind of allowed themselves to be with me, in the sense of like to see what am I about. Because one of the charts that I did is like, they were like, what is this person about? So that was actually just kind of like weird, but it was also kind of like, not malefic. They was just watching me, and it's kind of like they're thinking in terms of how to create a space, like a working space where there's no distraction, this and that. And I get, but this person is actually having a routine where it's like that. So they were not being malefic intentionally. They were just thinking that it's like that for everyone, that would be a better place for everyone to work like that. And they're like, no. So they were just watching for the situation. So this is number 8. Number 7. Okay, for number 7, of course, I'm going to tell the Peter story again. I was in Netherlands. I see news about something of a deceased person who was crime journalist. And immediately something with the police stands out. So I say I was trying to channel. And what I asked was about the death. The first answer that I get is, this country is North Korea. And I didn't know, because I didn't know if somebody shapeshifted to him, if it is true, if it is dead. I wasn't expecting this answer, okay? I was asking him about his death, and he's like, this country is North Korea. And then 2-3 years later, I see the person that he was opposition to, just like, pay attention, and I hear an interview, and the guy say, well, I'm not like North Korea like they say that I am. And I'm like, my God, that was Peter. So this is number 7. Number 6. Number 6, very special. Kind of like a new energy. So that was energy was like, I'm speaking with my mom. And my mom doesn't get that I went through a violation of my boundaries, a violation of my sexual boundaries and energy. And my mom doesn't get that. Okay? And then there's another mole. And that mole is kind of like watching, and he gets pissed at her. And he gets so pissed at her. It's just like, I feel like he's, the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? He just try to do something about it or try to go somewhere about it. And just like following the energy. And then there were kind of all kind of weird things that were happening with Mkultra, because then like his benefic kind of turns into place that's suddenly malefic. And then I like tell him, well, I don't have to be liked in order, like not being liked is not supposed to be lethal for me. And there's something was going on about abandonment fears that was in the communication. So it was all very like this mood, that mood, and so on. But I got really pissed at my mom. So that was number 6. Number 5. Number 5. Number 5 when I was in Netherlands. And I don't know exactly for which energy it was. But the thing is, I am homeless in Netherlands, and there was this one girl that works for like the Bank, which is kind of like a place that you both have checked the tickets for the train, and then you safeguard the streets. And she offers to accompany me, and she said that I will be by her, and she was homeless and so on and so forth. So me and her standing, she was basically trying to recruit me to human trafficking, but I didn't. It took time until I know, and then I ran away. I'm with her, and there is somebody in the street, and we're doing like a shift. Okay, she'll just accompany her to a shift. It's freezing cold, and somebody in one of the windows, he messes up with something, and I kind of like, I channel and I kind of like hear the word profanities, profanities. And at first I thought that it's something to do with this person, so I tell her, but this person, they have wrong idea, something wrong happening there. But eventually she was trying to recruit me for human trafficking. And so when we were supposed to go to her apartment, she goes to the right, I go to the left, and I say, bye-bye. And I had no idea where I'm going. But that was number 5. Her name, by the way, was very strange. It was Galobina, which sounds like a stage name. But it's just the front people, okay? So it's not like... Very likely she was like, either you die in torture or you recruit people. So that's what she did. So that was number 5? That was number 5 or number 4? Yeah, that was number 5. Okay? Number 4. Let's try and find for something interesting. Oh, the way I got about the moles. Okay. I would get, okay, this was coming from another energy that God of energies I know. Okay, so that was the thing that I got about the moles. You think about the mole as the builder, okay, and they have these teeth. His elongated teeth. And so I would think about the person. There's maybe one of the Mkultra spies and so on, or people that didn't know that they were spies, and then I would suddenly feel like it's like an energy on my face and it's elongated teeth. It's like their energy with elongated teeth. And I'm like, what's that? I was like, that's a mole. They're a mole. And that's how we get to know like that person is a mole. This will be this elongated teeth. Like, well, moles, builders, masons. I got it. So this is number 4. Number 3. Well, first of all, for number 3, Oh my God, number 3. This one, the tantric assassin. Okay, number 3 is very funny. It's not communication. It has no telepathic communication. Basically, a lot of these like satanic cults, they work with the number 3. Now it's just an inversion on the number 3, and they just do things in 3 times to get the power of repetition and whatnot. Anyway, I work on prevention of political assassination. I just gather data, and at one of the leaders' Twitter, X-Twitter, whatever page, there was a person that was threatening him to death, and this was Hills Brothers, and he was supporting Israel. So, the person that threatened him to death was wearing a green Adidas, which basically it's kind of like there was a boycott against Adidas because it was supporting Israel, but kind of like the assassin wearing a green Adidas. I think it was the one that was riding the wrong seat. There was another one that was in the passenger seat. And said, I'm gonna kill him. Like, you're gonna get himself. You're gonna kill yourself like that. But anyway, this is green Adidas. And then using like weird shit with like beta per se significations, kind of like the throat and the teeth and, you know, kind of the tongue and whatnot. And the power of like, I think it was 3 knives or whatever it was there. And I just look at it and I'm like, this reminds me of China Mastra. So I called him the tantric assassin. So that was number 3. And then I hear some Israeli who was writing something, and he got like infiltration of like the intelligence, and he says, yeah, you always come in trees. And I'm like, oh, that's the tree. That's the tree. Okay. Number 2. Number 2, I'm going to give it a Schiphol. So when I was homeless in the Netherlands, there was a time where they decided they are not going to close the shelter yet, but they don't give us food. So I had to steal food. And so I was going to the Schiphol airport, and I'm channeling, there's Albert Geen. And I was kind of like instructed to take sneakers, and there was like double sneakers, they're like 2. And I take the sneakers, and here just don't even try to hide the fact that you're stealing. And so I take the sneakers, and then I get like the connection to the 2, and it's kind of directing with the 2 fingers, kind of like 2. And I didn't get what this 2 means. It's sort of like a victory or 2 or with 2. And I was like, okay, I got it. I'm not alone. There's somebody with me. Sneakers, sneaking into, being sneaky. I'm like, okay, I think I know the energy. And then I would like, years later again, read about the hermaphrodite cults and find out that the 2 means 2 gender. So they're just signaling me that. And people, I guess, thought, or sometimes I get thought that I would know what this means, but I was just taught the wrong thing about the 2 because I'm outside the cult, and I would use it like, you know, so all the whistleblowers do it. That's it, okay? But I didn't get what the 2 is. So that was number 2. Number 1. Now, okay. First of all, a funny story. Do you know that the elevator... Okay, there's an elevator joke. I think it's with an Irish guy and another person, and they need the floor 11. And they don't know how to say, and then they say 11. And nobody understands. Say 11. And nobody understands. And then they point to 2 pointy fingers. And now this is the thing. If you have the middle finger, it's like in the West, you have the middle finger. But in Europe, you have the pointy finger. It's kind of like this is the middle finger. So it points out these 2 these 2 pointy fingers. They say 11. And that offends, of course, whoever's on the elevator with him. So that's the elevator joke for the 1. But it's called the Night of Brahman. I'm in the airport. It is another Mkultra energy that I know. I didn't know personally, but I know. There were a lot more funny and bizarre ones. But that will be it for it. I'm trying to sleep. And suddenly I feel an energy. It's kind of like holding me and allowing me to sleep. Kind of get into deep, 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 deep sleep. Okay. Then there was a time where I said I didn't have money for food, and to get money for food, I would have to use money that would be for the rent. Then I hear this energy says, "Fuck it." And I went and bought like that meal and connected the facts, kind of like preparing me for a big move. And that was to rebel my own dwelling. Like, hey, don't be in that place that kind of represses your energy. And again, they have both, okay, they always have both benevolent and really, really fucked up, okay, fucked up energy parts, because that's what they did. Okay, they did the two. It's not just two gender. It's the point is that they bifurcate, and they have like kind of like weird personalities. And the weird personalities, when they try to do magic, the weird personalities are completely different. Like, it looks malefic. You understand that this is malefic, okay? If he just gets it, and it's like, it's malefic. And they try to make inversions, so they imitate, but with bad energy. And this is how you know. But the same person at other times can be benevolent. So this is basically top 10. Not top 10. I mean, I have even funnier stuff. They were like really weird and sometimes really exhausting. Mkultra spies interactions that I've had while doing channeling experiments. So if you have your own stories, that would be very interesting to hear. And those are, with extrasensory or telepathic communication or channeling. That is, there's always, it's kind of like it's a different realm of communication. And there are also people that are shapeshifters. There are also, like, there's so many things going on in that realm. So that's just kind of like take it with a grain of, like, take it lightly. You say take it lightly, and that's the atmosphere that I meant for this episode. So thank you for watching.